FDIC and equal housing lender.
The agricultural industry is facing challenging times. Just like your family, we've been through good times and bad. Hello, I'm James Kirk, Vice President at First National Bank in Taylorville, just west of the Taylorville Square. For nearly 70 years, we've been here to provide banking and loan solutions for Christian County farmers. We will weather the storm as we have for almost 7 generations. Let us be your partner for the next season. We are First National Bank in Taylorville, first every time, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Your information station, WTIM.
We're back with more of the WTIM Pana Morning Show with Pana civic, business, and nonprofit leaders coming to you from our Taylorville studios. The WTIM Pana Morning Show, it's brought to you by title sponsor and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with your Pana Save-A-Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen, the Okanee Chop Shop, and Pana Bowl. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Joining us in this segment, we've got Angela Matthews, and Angela is the assistant principal of Pana Elementary School. Angela, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great.
Well, I'm glad.
Sun shining today.
Yes, it is. Thankfully, after on Sunday, I think there was a UV index of 0. I didn't even know that was quite possible. And so it is nice to see the sun shine in the last couple of days. Well, we talked before we got our start today, and we know that the cold weather is here, but we've got plenty of fun things going inside our building. But we want to touch on the month of November to start. So I'm wondering, what was November like at Pana Elementary School? What can you tell us that happened?
Absolutely. So November was a super busy month. You know, it kicks off holiday season, but every year we celebrate American Education Week. That's November 17th through 21st, and we have a variety of things that were planned that we participated in. One of them being inviting our high school band over to our pre-K 5 building. And the kids and the staff just love that. It's such a treat for the students to hear the band do the school song, some patriotic theme things, and whatever the band has set up for what they're playing at the high school. Students also started writing thank you letters to our substitutes, which we're super thankful for. They are not always in big supply these days, so we're super thankful for the ones that we have. Our paraprofessionals and all those extra support people like the bus drivers. We had a luncheon to kind of recognize all of those support people in our building. And then one of our favorite things that we tried this year was having a cross-grade literacy partnership. We are lucky enough, since we're all in one building now with this brand new facility here in Pana, we have the kindergarten and the third grade classes, the first and the fourth, and then the second and the fifth graders kind of collaborate together to do some literacy stuff, which was really fun for the teachers, but then also the students mentoring the older ones to the younger, which was kind of exciting. That's something we couldn't really do easily before when we were in two separate buildings. And then the kids' favorite part was of American Education Week was the student council from the high school. There were about 22 of them, came over for a play day, and during lunch and recess, they ate with the kids, did some discussion cards, would you rather games. They just really love to see the high school kids, and they did that for all grade levels. So that was kind of a fun, exciting day on that Friday of American Education Week. So
you guys were busy during American Education Week then. You said thank you letters for substitutes, kind of a support lunch for some of those people that really support your efforts, whether that's bus drivers and more. And then that literacy collaboration. That sounds to be the most fun that was had almost during that week. And then the student council on top of it. How cool is it for you to kind of see your kids, whether kindergarten through first, second grade, whatever the case might be, at any age really, kind of interact with those older students, almost get to treat them like an older brother or sister? What's that kind of look like for you?
Oh, it's definitely rewarding. It kind of reminds you why we're here. You know, all of us are here for students. And when we get to see those kids that were in our classrooms and in our buildings before come back and lead them into their career path sometimes, some of them really want to get into education or counseling, social work and things like that. So it's great to see that. It puts a smile on everyone. At first, everyone's like, oh gosh, it's going to create a lot of chaos. And then every time when we get to the event, everyone's like, yeah, we got to keep doing that. That's so awesome. And with our campus being so close together now, it's just really feasible to do that more regularly versus before when we were more spread out in town. So
I definitely think it makes for a more cohesive kind of unit. And it is cool that, you hear about older students kind of coming in sometimes to the classroom or to lunch or recess, like you mentioned. But the ability to do it more regularly, I think, is important, not just kind of like a one-off thing where then the kids kind of forget and they're just waiting for like another time for it to come around instead of it being a more regular deal.
We actually do have a mentor program where we have a set of kids that come every single day over to our building from the high school. And when those high school kids are gone or absent, the teachers and the students really notice. They really start to form relationships and build those bonds for school importance.
So even better then. So we already know that we have a daily deal that happens, and then we have even, we'll call them bigger events around it as well. So I'd love to hear that. And I think that's perfect, though. It keeps the kids knowing that somebody is either going to be there or that there is that connection and that there is that cohesiveness. So really love to hear that. Anything else, Angela, when it came to that American Education Week?
Well, so the very following week, we had a short week due to Thanksgiving. On the 25th, we had our Thankful for the Arts program, which is completely ran by our music and art teachers, which was amazing. We had an awesome turnout from parents, guardians, community members. The gym was packed. It was during the day, and the whole theme was patriotic. And at first, I think people were like, wait, what are we doing patriotic so close to Thanksgiving, in between Veterans Day? That was already over. But the kids practiced for, 1.5 quarters, all of these patriotic songs. We had God Bless America, Lee Greenwood, Proud to be American, all the way to Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. So the kids put on a performance at each grade level. They got to use boom whackers, recorders. They had a glow stick show, the drums, and a lot of these extras, I guess you would say, in the music program are funded by the Pana Education Foundation, which is an awesome resource for our teachers and students. And then alongside the music, they had their art showcased out in our cafeteria space, and our art teacher had the kids dabbling with chalks and pastels, doing optical illusions, stamping, and they were even sewing stars like Betty Ross using some sewing mediums. So she had all kinds of patriotic themes to go along with her artwork, along with the music. And it was a super great turnout.
I can imagine. And I got to say, Angela, I love that. There are a lot of school districts that I'm not going to say are reducing their arts programs, but it feels that way. And so to have an event where you kind of bring it all together, even too, like between the music, between the art, between then some sewing projects or either, other things like that. And then having a moment to really take a look at it and all be together to have it, it brings that appreciation for the arts that much more. The patriotic theme, did that kind of tie in to like a Veterans Day deal that you guys did? Or was that just kind of like...
Yeah, so that it didn't generate there actually. The girls every year they do something different. The Miss Holman and Mrs. Neal, and they start collaborating early September about what they want their themes to be because it takes that long to practice the performances and get the artwork prepared. And this year they just kind of thought with a lot of the options that they could do together cohesively a patriotic theme. So it just kind of took a turn and went in that direction, and it happened to be great. Everyone was kind of like, well, we're still doing patriotic a little later. I'm like, we can always be patriotic. There's never a chance that, there's never a time that's not a good time to be proud of the USA. So it just kind of all fell together. A lot of teachers did do things alongside of those in their regular ed classrooms with their veterans and those programs, but the program itself was really cohesive with art music.
I think so. And never a time to not be patriotic in that regard. So each grade level performed, I got to say, Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus, whether that's kindergartners or first or second graders.
Those were younger. Yeah, the younger kids, they loved it. And they all did awesome. She has a way, Miss Neal, to get dance movement in there. They had glow sticks attached to these things called boom whackers. So we turned the lights down. It was just like a true concert. There were a lot of mediums, and it was just a really well thought out planned event. So it turned out great.
I'm glad to hear it. And the public was invited to be able to come and see the showcase as well.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that means a lot for the parents or grandparents to be able to see it as well, recognize their child or grandchild, whatever the case might be, but also see it as a full kind of put together between the grade levels program as well. I think wonderful things about that. So the Thankful for the Arts program at the end of November. I apologize.
Yeah, no, that was great. We had some families stay since they had grandchildren in kindergarten and grandchildren in fifth grade, so they got to see the progression of the entire thing. Many people come for just their one student or so in the grade level and then head out, but we did have quite a few families that were here for the whole morning for the entire process, so that was great to see.
Well, Angela, it sounds like you stayed plenty busy in November. Is there anything else that happened in November you want to tell our listeners about?
So we've been working a lot on STEM classes. We have a STEM teacher, Miss Hubbard here, and she's working on getting in some innovation and creative problem solving out to the students. They've been working on different projects focused on coding and building the vocabulary for coding. And then they're exploring some robotics as well. We have several 3D printers now in the building, working on creating different objects and 3D printing them. And then, of course, our younger grades are always improving their tech skills with the Google Drawings and the platforms like Google Slides, learning how to type and create slideshows and pixel art, things like that. Upcoming with STEM, she has all kinds of things planned around Thanksgiving. They did some parachutes, building bridges, and kindergartners even created their own turkey traps, trying to trap the turkey. But upcoming, they have all kinds of different STEM activities they're going to be doing with elves and Rudolph and saving, different situations from Christmas and all of those holiday excitement. So we're always curious to see what kind of innovation the kids can create. It's always, I don't know, they always bring their creativity to the table. You think, oh, will they be able to do this or can they figure this out? And if it's STEM related, the kids excel all the time.
Well, and it's the hands-on stuff. I feel like we're talking a lot about hands-on things here today, whether it's the art or being a part of the music program or working with senior students or student council or just everything to me is like, you can think about the traditional classroom and what's being taught or instructed in there, but some of this stuff is just as important, if not more important, because you're building some of the social skills too. Do you feel a similar way?
Absolutely. So some of our students who do struggle in the traditional format of reading or math and those more academic texts are difficult for them. Those kids excel in plenty, right, for the arts and the hands-on and the STEM activities. Some of those kids have their chance to shine, and other kids just begin to excel because they find a new passion or a hobby out of those exposures. So huge, important piece of education, not just reading and writing, but it kind of embedding all of those together.
And making it make sense as to why what you learn in the classroom can be applied elsewhere too. I just think the world of it in terms of what you guys were doing in November. We want to talk about what to expect in December as well when we return, but we're going to take ourselves a quick break. We're joined by Angela Matthews, assistant principal of Pana Elementary School. She's been telling us all about the month of November. Well, they've got plenty lined up for December. We'll talk to her about that in just one moment. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station. WTIM.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Two-sided trade on this WASDE report day. March corn up 1 1/4, 445. May corn up 1 1/4, 452.5, and December new crop 463 3/4, down 1/4. January beans down 3 1/4, 1090.5. March beans down 4, 1102, and new crop November 1097 3/4, down 3 3/4. March wheat 534, down 3/4. May wheat down a penny, 541 1/4. January bean meal 303 even, down 340. January bean oil down to nickel, 51.13. Livestock trade, January feeders up 30 cents, 335.85. December live cattle down 37 cents, 226.95. December lean hogs down 32 cents, 81.97. Energy market, January crude oil 58.30, down 58 cents. The December WASDE report released at 11 a.m. This is...
Does your bank offer rewards on qualified signature-based debit card purchases? If not, then we need to talk. Hi, my name is Mason Crow with People's Bank and Trust. Join the growing number of our customers who are earning cash back on all qualifying debit card purchases. You already use your debit card. Now make it work for you with Save by Spending rewards from People's Bank and Trust. Call 888-PBT 1954 and find out more about our Save by Spending rewards program. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Noren's Hardware is a local family-owned store offering a wide selection of quality hardware supplies at competitive prices. Whether you need plumbing supplies or electrical supplies, you're sure to find what you need at Noren's Hardware Store, including ice melt, shovels, gloves, heat tape, pipe insulation, portable heaters, and propane to get ready for the winter months. Our staff is committed to providing outstanding customer service and is ready to assist you. Visit our store at 55 Main Street in Pana today.
If you're 40 and over, you'll recognize these artists by their first names: Frank, Dean, Sammy, Andy, Nat, Diana, Michael. Well, here's the big news. You can now hear Central Illinois' largest music library with over 3,500 songs on air and online at 965thechill.com. Tune in on the FM dial in Christian County and on your computer or smartphone. Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 965thechill.com.
Pana schools provide excellence in education and are rooted in the Pana community. Become a part of Panther Pride and find out the great things happening in Pana schools by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Jansen's Heating and Air is the home of Dr. Comfort, focusing on customer care for heating and air conditioning across Central Illinois for some 35 years. Find out their services, specials, and coupons by clicking their icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM.
And welcome back to the WTIM Pana Morning Show, brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, as well as Pana Save a Lot, Pizza Man, Noren's Hardware, Bob Riding's Pana, the Nokomis Dairy Queen Pana Bowl, and the Okanee Chop Shop. I'm your host, Grayson Bauman. Back around in this segment, we've got Angela Matthews, Assistant Principal of Pana Elementary School. We talked the month of November, and Angela, I'm just wondering what you've already got here in December. What's already started this holiday season for you?
Oh, this week has been awesome. When I walk the halls here at Pana Elementary School, it's like a little magical place in time. We have bulletin boards filled with, you name it, of festive decorations, crafts. The teachers are doing an awesome job of embedding literacy and math skills into all kinds of little festive activities. We got Rudolphs, we have snowmen, we have Christmas trees, we have Buddy the Elf, we have Grinch self-portraits. We're truly decking the halls here and getting in that holiday spirit with all of the kids. One of our favorite traditions this year has been kind of an awkward thing. I don't know if you've heard about the 6-7 craze, like the popular phrase 6-7. Well, on the 67th day of school, the teachers just decided to embrace it because the kids always are saying 6-7, 6 or 7. It's just a silly thing that kids are saying that's a trend. And we've created math activities and writing samples and all kinds of things to kind of just join the fun alongside the kids on the 67th day of school. We have upcoming events planned. Our music teacher that I was discussing earlier has planned some Christmas carols and cookies where she's invited family members to come in with the kids, and they're planning on singing some Christmas carols and enjoying cookies together upcoming next week. We have K-2 students going to our local movie theater here in Pana downtown as a fun little trip here to end the semester. And then we're planning a school-wide sing-along for the preschool all the way through for the 5th grade for our last day before break on December 19th. I have some exciting games planned too for the staff and students, doing some bingo, Christmas bingo, and name that tune upcoming for some chances for prizes for their classrooms and for the teachers. So just kind of a lot of awesome things going on each day. The teachers are really planning engaging in fun activities alongside the regular learning that they are still responsible for completing in the classrooms.
Well, I got to say, I must have missed the ball when it came to a fun, elementary school experience, because you guys are really, really doing it here this holiday season and in months prior even too. Really at the start of the year, I've been just impressed with what you guys have been able to do at the elementary school, and also with the new facility being closer, being kind of a one kind of true local campus almost. I think it's been really impressive on this end to hear about it. And so, Angela, I want to thank you for joining us here today to talk all about it and more.
Awesome. Our staff is top notch. They're always giving 110% for the students. So that is something that we are very lucky and blessed to have here at Pana Elementary School. They're always willing to go above and beyond to make the students' experience a positive one, an enjoyable and memorable one too. And our community is always very supportive. We have a lot of community partners giving some extras this season for our families who are needing those. We have extra gifts, food, different things and programs that we've set our students up with. It's just heartwarming to see the community come together to support, the little people of the building. So.
Yes, well, I think it makes all the difference to have the community support, administration support, and then it just kind of trickles down from there. And so I think you guys have done an excellent job in regards to that. And Angela, again, thank you for joining us here. Angela Matthews, Assistant Principal of Pana Elementary School here on the WTIM Pana Morning Show.